Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the King Leo Show. I need to get a haircut. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the pre-show. What's up, man? How's everyone doing tonight? No updates today. Need to fix the show this week, make it a little bit better. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the King Leo Show. I need to get a haircut. Audio's good. But no, it's been, it was an interesting, I see J Boss. How you doing, sir? How was my weekend? I was too busy this weekend, dude. This weekend didn't get a lot of rest. But it's okay. It's okay. Had to do a bunch of stuff. It's okay. Spinning a lot of plates right now, but we still always make it out here. King Leo, have you tried using Suno 5.5 to make songs? Crazy good. With ChatGPT writing me custom stand-up comedy and Suno making me custom music, I barely need the cooler with the... That's interesting. I've talked to comedians about I haven't tried the Suno 5.5. I want to start looking into the like Sora type things, the things that make, because at this point, you have to be an idiot to not see that the future is that. The future is going to be the, for better or worse, the AI generated cartoons and content in general. Whether you like it or not, I do think they're going to resist it a little bit, but I'm not sure that's going to work. You're not sure if you can't hear me. Let me see here, because I feel like the audio is okay, sir. Let me see that here. Oh, there's a good to grab over here. Oh, we have to do a lot, actually. Let's see this. I'm not sure that's going to work. Yeah, audio's okay. Let me know if it comes in, because the audio should be okay. Maybe I'm wrong. If anyone else gets in here. How you doing, Jay Dreamer? Preach, sir, preach. Hey, King. Thank you. But yeah, it's just gonna be the from Suno. Oh, I need to check that out. It's gonna be the thank you, ACT. How you doing? I think it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes long term. But yeah, all right. Given all that, let's get to the story, man. I mean, let's not get to the story. Let's get to the show. This story is interesting. I have to tell you, it's getting so boring these days. It's just incessantly boring. In the sense, and I don't know how Trump has this power where no one cares about the Iran war. No one cares about Venezuela. Venezuela was supposed to be free. Maria Corina Machado was supposed to go back. It was supposed to be different. It's kind of the same thing. There is no payoff. I even saw Academic Agent shouts out to AA today, saying on his show, there is no, there is no depth to this Trump thing. There is no payoff. Every storyline is poorly written. It is not fun. And I think that a lot of the complaints, including the ones we're going to see today from Tucker Carlson, are about this. I think you have to grow up at a certain point and realize this is a soap opera at the end of the day. It's become a soap opera. It has soap opera aesthetics. It is boring. And, just like Dallas or The Young and the Restless, at a certain point you have to go, okay, I get it. Nothing's going to ever happen. It's the same thing. Nothing ever happens is real. It looks like something's happening, but not really. And I say that because we're going to talk about Tucker's interview, and he's just talking about, as usual, Tucker with the spirits and the demons and the blah, 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 it's evil everywhere.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it!
I don't understand how he gets away with saying this crap, dude. He's still talking about demons and aliens and whatever. Putting that aside. It's just, he's mad about the Iran war. He's mad about Israel and all that. And look, I understand it. I really do. I'm not over here shilling for anyone. I'm just saying, haven't we heard this a lot already? Haven't we already heard the points? What is where are the points coming from? The new points? I don't know. It's interesting. We're going to see. But it's going to be a fun show, especially the schizo stuff. How you doing, Eves? This country's going insane. All right, let's do the plugs real quick. We have here, as usual, there is the Patreon. Whoa. What's going on there? Whoa. All right, yeah. We forgot to do this. One second. The Patreon, as usual. Here you have access to King Leo Movie Club. We're finally on the 1900s. I'm excited for the Baudrillardian film history, as well as the King Leo Movie Club. I got to do the Parallax view this weekend. This is a great movie, man. You got to watch this. This is one of the best. One of the greats made this one. This is Warren Beatty at his best. What the fuck is that in the frame? What is that? There we go. I don't even know what that is. What is that? What was... All right, let's continue. We have over here the Discord, which I have to be active. I'm sorry. I will be active this week. I'm sorry. Link is in the description for all of this. And we have What Would a Postmodernist Do parody bracelets available at the copy link in the description. Everything is available in the description. You already know the spiel. We've all heard this before. Do you really want me to shill a little bit more? Well, I have to keep shilling because you have to get on the Patreon. It's $5 a month. It's literally less than a cup of coffee. It's almost 50% of the cup of coffee. At Starbucks is $9 now. So yeah, I'm not ripping you off. All right. Let's get to the show. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's get to it. All right. Jay Boss catching up. Gotcha. All right. Let's get to the show. All right. All caught up. Thank you, sir. No. It's all good. All right. Let's get to the show. We have a lot to get through. I wanted to talk about Nick Shirley and Schizo Watch, but I think we're going to do a whole segment on that tomorrow, man. I'm very excited. But there is plenty of Schizo to get through. There's a lot, man. This place just... I literally have to organize here 1 second because this is insane amounts of bullshit here. I won't talk too much about Nick Shirley today, but I do hope that they do actually lock him up in Cuba. All right, let's get to the show. Let's start over here with one of the front runners for 2028. This is really impressive to me, honestly. It's impressive to me how aggressively stupid and violent politics is becoming on the surface. And you can blame a lot of people. You can be mad at a lot of people. But, I think it's really, Myron Gaines played a part in this. This is one of the front runners. He's taking a back seat right now. Last time we looked at Stephen A. Smith, he was talking about how he loved to beat his black children. What is he saying now? This is supposed to be someone we take seriously for the presidency. This is, and it would be funny, but this guy is preaching violence. So this is why I'm a little bit perturbed at this. Let's see what Stephen A. Smith is saying here. This is really, I don't understand who is the audience for this, because I don't think black people are going to vote for Stephen A. Smith. I don't think white people, it seems like it's some kind of liberal that would vote for Stephen A. Smith, but I don't even think Bill Maher would vote for Stephen A. Smith. What is the point? All right. Let's watch here. Let's watch this. Let's see what he has to say about women. This is the discourse now in our politics.
Sex appeal, figure it out. So that conversation, intellect, and domesticated. Because you see, I say that. I'm seriously. Somebody needs to say that. We need to stop this shit. This assault against masculinity. It's gonna end with this. I don't care. I can cook for myself. I don't want to. I want you to cook. I'll pay for the food. I'll take you out. I'll take you out every week. Yeah. We're doing it. But damn it, listen. My sister Carmen, one of the greatest cooks ever. Rashawn could throw down, by the way. He can cook too, right? I'm not him. See, he don't mind. He'll tell the wife, I got you, baby. I got this. Let me cook the chicken. Hell no, that ain't Steven. No. Only thing I'm doing for myself is getting up for some cereal. That's it. I'm not cooking. I don't feel like it. If I have to do that, why do I need you? That's me. I'm just being that. I understand it comes across as chauvinistic, but I just finished saying, I'll take you out. I'll buy the food. I'll take care of whatever you need me to take care of. But damn it, I walk through my crib and you there, I better not smell pine sol. There's a problem. If I'm smelling pine sol, why are you there? Why? My sister has her own family. If my sister knows I'm coming, the minute I walk through the door, I'm smelling food.
Shut up, man. Man, listen. You ain't got to say. Listen.
I don't even understand what this is anymore. He's running for president wearing a hoodie. You're not Kanye West. You're the idiot who yells on TV about Steph Curry. You're not Kanye West. You're not actually interesting. What is this? Is this country becoming, do we have an Islamist party now where it's like light Sharia? Is that what's desired? Who is the demographic that is going to vote for this? I know that young men, in theory, are pissed off at the way gender relations are working. But I don't know. I don't think Sharia law is really the solution. Personally, it's not really my thing. Women should be in the kitchen cooking and cleaning, and this is delusional behavior. And I don't even mean this from a feminist perspective. This country is getting stupider and stupider, man.
Sensational.
I'm really amazed at this. This is... No, you can't the woman can't stay home and cook and clean. If you have that expectation, then I'm sorry, you must have one of these Nepo baby jobs. What the hell are you talking about? This is insane. The presidential platform of Stephen A. Smith has been so far, I like beating my children, and women need to clean. What is the point of this? This is just, we are at President Camacho levels without President Camacho. Is this for the incel vote? And I'm not even using that word prerogatively, dude. It's fine. I understand there are people who have frustrations with women, and some of them are completely justified. But this is probably the weakest, most impotent way of expressing Nietzschean male dominion over females, if that's what you really want to do, by electing Stephen A. Smith to make the hearty suggestion that women should be in the kitchen and cleaning. That would be, it's always the cart before the horse in this country. It really is. I don't understand. So you cannot, no one makes enough money in this country anymore. No one does. There is a national debt that must be paid, meaning that there must be more extraction. There are boomers whose cruises must be funded. There are boomers who need their Medicare. There are boomers who need their Social Security. We need to fund it. It's non-negotiable. That's it. I don't care if you don't like it. That's just the way that it works.
Sensational.
And we need everyone to work for this to work. Otherwise, the country falls apart and the whole world. This is wish casting of, women are going to go back to cleaning and cooking when Stephen A. Smith is president, and you'll be able to hit your kid with a belt. I mean, when liberals in the past used to make fun of conservatives, like, you want the 1950s back, who knew it would be Stephen A. Smith who literally wanted to recreate the What is the demographic that votes for this? I don't even understand this. This is so stupid. This is so, I can't even say wrong. Because, this is what we should expect. But the fact that you have to listen to this, the fact that you have to watch this idiot on CNN, on Bill Maher, I'm sure there's going to be a presidential campaign, dude, and I'm sure it's going to be a grift, and he's going to release a book, and you're going to have to see that book being promoted. He'll do a book tour. Is an offense to nature, God, and you. Like, this is, Stephen A. Smith is molesting us by doing this. He should not. And functionally on free speech, right? He should not have the free speech, actually. He shouldn't have it. Yeah, we're talking about beating children and getting women. Everyone talked about how Zohran Mamdani was going to do Sharia. Stephen A. Smith is saying that women need to cook and clean despite everything because he provides. I'm sorry, where are you living, dude? Do you know how much the average salary is in this country? And this is the delusion that I don't understand about these Myron Gaines folks and everything. Even if the conditions were there, even if the conditions were there sociologically, the conditions are not there financially or economically. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. All right. That's a little bit of a rough start. I don't like this man, as you've heard in the past. I do not like him. But let's get to a lighter note. Let's see the propaganda from the White House. We have here Rick Harrison from the very famous Pawn Stars. I grew up watching Pawn Stars. I love Pawn Stars. Who came out here to support President Trump. Let's see what he had to say. When we have a reality TV show host with the reality TV show president, you must just give in. You have to give in to it.
All right.
You know, usually I like announcement rallies and they give you like 3 minutes notice and I can't come up with a speech, and they've like literally just told me a couple hours ago to take a little speaking. I just want to say he's amazing. He's done so much. I mean, so much for all of us. I mean, the backbone of this country is small business, plain and simple. And the last guy in office, all we heard is that we were the evil people, we were the bad people, everything else like that. We don't pay our fair share, whatever that's supposed to be. And he made it tough. And this guy, the big beautiful bill, absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? God bless you for letting me get 100% depreciation. It really helps out. All I can say is this is literally, I mean, I'm a history buff and I know a lot about this White House thing and everything. Literally, he's going to go down as maybe the best president ever. I love this guy.
If I recall correctly, and maybe I'm wrong, let me see this here, dude. I think Rick Harrison's kid is dead from fentanyl. Yeah, his kid died of fentanyl, not the one from the TV show, another one that he had. I'm very... Look, obviously, like, oh yeah, it's funny, you know, like it's great, it's classic, you know, amazing stuff. Like, it's really good. Like it's funny, you know. I get it. You know, it's the guy from Pawn Stars. Does anyone ever go? Yeah, I get it. You know, do you know famous people that you use the Hulk Hogan and all this? They say it doesn't even mean me being critical. It's just feels like old dog, old tricks, whatever. Putting that aside. I think this is what's fascinating about the reality TV thing is that it really does create something more important. This is what a Bajalardian's check-in would realize here. And he grew up watching Rick Harrison. Rick Harrison is like this small business owner in Las Vegas. He owns a small pawn shop. Now, we don't ever really get into the mechanics of the pawn shop on Pawn Stars because Rick Harrison is an American who has made money off of desperate people who need to go gamble more, who have to pawn their house or their car or something. They say, I'll be right back, Rick. I'll be right back. And then they get screwed, as you'd expect. And what's fascinating is that the reality TV show made it about history. You know, it was about history. If you've ever watched an episode of Pawn Stars, it's about history. It's not about the desperate gamblers that need money at 3 a.m. to win their house back. You know, that's not what it's about. So Rick Harrison has made a lot of money off of vice, off of misery, if you're going to judge it. You know, I'm not saying he's a bad guy or anything, but I'm just saying in Cuba, in Saudi Arabia, they would have a different conversation.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
And what I find more fascinating is that through Pawn Stars, Rick Harrison with his like clever, let me just call a buddy, or what was the other one? It was, we're about to see it because he did it. Their best I can do is $2 or something like that. He cultivated the image of the small business owner in Las Vegas. This is a multimillionaire. The business is secondary now. This is a reality TV show star. This is a rich man. When we hear him talk about small business, and we'll see it next, it's important to note the reality TV created the image of Rick Harrison as the small business owning pawn shop owner. And it has stuck despite his celebrity, despite his cameos in TV shows like iCarly and movies. This is now someone who probably doesn't even step foot in the business. It doesn't even matter anymore except to shoot the business. It is the simulacrum of owning a pawn shop. So that is all to say, Rick Harrison is someone who has made money off of vice in this country. He has framed it in this specific way to make himself not holier than thou. I'm not trying to insult him. This is fine. This is good work if you can find it. But it's just so odd that how television works in the United States, where Rick Harrison is in this specific case, you know, he's not wearing a tie. He is a responsible small business owner rather than a person who has lived off of the desperation of Americans by buying their prized possessions in a moment of ultimate vice bipolarism, whatever it's called, mania, and then parlayed that into a television show, which is a reality show, all the while neglecting his family life, allowing one of his sons to become a drug addict and die, and allowing one of the stars of the TV show, which is basically a nephew, to become a drug addict as well and get arrested. Is this not this is the beauty of America in a lot of ways. It is beautiful that you are able to do this, that you are able to portray this image. And I get it. He has the look, he has everything. But if you really deconstruct it, you go, Rick Harrison is nothing more than a product of reality television who decided to get into the griftiest businesses of the griftiest businesses, whether, I'm not even putting morality on it. I'm just saying that that's the reality of it. And now he's going to sit here and lecture me about who the greatest president is? Rick Harrison, you couldn't lecture your kid to get off fentanyl. That's why he's the GOAT.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
You have to respect this at a certain point. This is a level of grift, that is unimpeachable. And we even see him, this is really something, doing a White House video in character as the pawn shop owner saying his catchphrase. Watch this. This is insane.
Okay, the best I could do is the golden age for small businesses. Okay.
He doesn't even own a small business. He's a millionaire now. This isn't even touching on the idea that Las Vegas sucks now. It is losing net residents. This is a person who owns a small business in a place that has been hollowed out by capital, COVID, etc., and will probably not return except as a pleasure dome for the super rich until Los Angeles takes over. I wonder how people in Las Vegas feel watching this.
Okay, the best I could do is the golden age for small businesses.
This is Mobutu. This is, Harrison, right? This has to be like Irish, like Irish. This is the Irish Mobutu propagandist here. This is something, man. It really is something. This is the most hyper real thing I've fucking seen in my life, dude. I don't know if you appreciate how insane this is, but you have to admire it. You really do. You can't be mad at this. It's bullshit. It's
90% bullshit, but it's entertaining.
I don't think it's exactly entertaining anymore, but the fact that they can pull this off is really something. It's really something. 1.5 million views. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right, let's continue. We can skip this for the day. I can skip this. I think this is on the same point. I didn't know this was Slave Watcher. These CEOs, dude, if we were in China, brother, if we were in China, these people would be under the prison. They would be under the prison. They would be under the prison. These CEOs, I don't know how they are this bold. They don't even care how they sound anymore. They look at you and they say,
technically, according to the strict law of the Torah, not one Gentile in the world deserves to live.
And they're Gentiles. They're not, this is not even, let us see what the CEO of Chipotle is saying about your complaint regarding portion sizes. Let's see this.
If you want more, you should ask for a little more. I promise you. There's never a team member on that line is going to say no to you. We will continue to put heaping spoonfuls of food in bowls and burritos. It has always been our brand ethos, and it is still to this day. We serve big, beautiful bowls and burritos. No questions asked.
So you're not skimping people?
We are not. I tell my team all the time.
First of all, did you catch this? This was developed in a marketing meeting. Big, beautiful bowls and burritos. That is 4 B's. That is alliteration. That is not, he didn't come up with that off the cuff.
We serve big, beautiful bowls and burritos.
Big, beautiful bowls and burritos. It's also a B, so it's soft. It's not jarring, like kooky crocodiles creating crackers. It's soft. It's a B. It's a round letter.
Questions asked.
So you're not skimping people.
We are not. I tell my team all the time, put as much food in that bowl and burrito as you possibly can. I want the consumer to tell you it's too big. We're about abundance. We're about value. And value equals benefit over price. If I can hold the price constant, which I am working hard to do, even in the face of mid-single digit inflation that I'm seeing in my businesses, I'm not passing that off to the consumer. We're absorbing.
This is such an insane lie.
You are fighting against America and you hate white people.
This is insane. This is total. We live in the Truman Show, dude. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wait, Xi Jinping, if you can hear me. Xi Jinping, if you can hear me, please save us, dude. How are they this bold? We are living in the audacious age. That is what is fascinating about being alive right now. The audacious age. How are you absorbing inflation? By charging more money. Because the prices got up. Okay, you're adding more to the bowl. Supposedly, anyone who has eaten at Chipotle in the past year knows this is not the case. How do you get away with saying this? This is, you know what? I want to test this now. I might even do that. I might duet this. This is so ridiculous. It is astonishing to me that they get away with this kind of thing.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
How does this work? How does this work? Where when they talk about, when you hear, especially older people, and they're like, the Soviet Union was evil. Okay, yeah, I'll believe you. The Soviet Union was evil. Why was it evil? Well, because it was communism. And they were lying, and the people knew they were lying, and they knew the people were lying, and they knew that the people knew that they knew that they were lying. That is America right now. That is America. This is a bold-faced lie. This is a lie. This is, as my producer informed me, a classic expression by Sir Francis Bacon, bringing the mountain to Muhammad. This is all bullshit. And I don't even know if this is good or bad. It definitely causes schizophrenia, right? I mean, even the way this is, by the way, look, this is how you know. I'm not trying to make you a schizo, okay? But look at this. This is, if you know about film, this is posted by Yahoo Finance, okay? They're shooting here from the front, but from the right, okay? In film, there's something called the 180-degree rule. You are not supposed to break it because it confuses and disorients the audience. If you do it, it is to drive people crazy. So if you're on the right side, you're on the right side. If you're on the left side, you're on the left side. They'll make sure no one gets confused. And then we cut to the left side. So now you don't know where you are. This is disorienting. It is odd. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And just as you're being hit by this message, look, this is shot from the left. And then we go back to shot from the right. This is designed to disorient you, stupefy you, bamboozle you. This is a level of dishonesty that is, when they say snake oil has to be changed, that is too old. We are in a new level of grift and graft in this country. This is something. This is something to me. I can't believe that this is the way it is. That you are told as a consumer to not believe your lying eyes. What is the difference between this and the Soviet Union? I really do wonder. Let's continue. Really something, man. After the Starbucks one, that was something. Let's continue. Let's check in what our secretary, our super straight heterosexual Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, had to say about kamikaze dolphins. It was the aliens. It was the.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
The UAPs, the giant bones, the floods, and the liberals and the leftists and the Yeti and the Bigfoot and now the kamikaze dolphin. Let us watch what our defense secretary has to say about the idea of dolphins that are inspired by Osama bin Laden, the Sheikh, to commit suicide with bombs on them.
And I can't confirm or deny whether we have kamikaze dolphins, but I can confirm they don't, ultimately.
Is this a bit? What is this?
And I can't confirm or deny whether we have kamikaze dolphins.
Kamikaze dolphins. They are just...
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
It's releasing more and more. At this point, I don't even think it's purely an imaging trick. It's like a linguistic trick. When you say kamikaze dolphin, it means something, right? It means like the suicide bombing dolphin, but you're using the word kamikaze, which is Japanese. And when you think of the Japanese, you think of the dolphin. The dolphin was in that movie, The Cove, if you ever saw that horrific film. And then pretty soon, the way this percolates is that someone makes a podcast about the existence of kamikaze dolphins. And then Patrick Bet-David interviews them. Pretty soon, Tucker Carlson's doing a whole episode on kamikaze dolphins. And then Alex Jones is selling you the supplements so that you can avoid being destroyed by a kamikaze dolphin, because now the kamikaze dolphins have developed legs and they're trying to kill us. And then you're going to sleep at night with a gun under your pillow because you're scared that a kamikaze dolphin is going to kill you. And this all starts here. This is all here. They have to be doing this. This has to be deliberate. There's no way that this is not somewhat malicious or wrong. This is not appropriate to say. You know, and it's beautiful, the UAP to this, to that, to the dolphin. I mean, what's next? What's next? He's going to say we have Captain America and the Iron Man suit. Whatever, man. How you doing, Audio Vibes? Let's catch up with the chat a little bit. See what happened here. So we got someone new here. First lady says, First Last says, who cares? Fuentes thinks B word is a P word protector. Is that just a clout-chasing bird? Well, if you don't care, you can leave. Quite clearly, if you don't care about something that's being discussed, you can leave. Anyway. Let's see here. Thank you, J-Boss. $16 for a burrito. Exactly. Eve says it would never happen except for the legal scams pulled off by the on the American people. Yeah, in terms of the CEO stuff, I don't know how they protect this like speech. It's just, how is it? That is actually lying to your shareholders when you say that. That is actually, if Chipotle were sacrificing at the expense of their shareholders to please consumers, that is actually a lawsuit in this country. You can sue them for that as a shareholder, because they're supposed to be maximizing shareholder revenue. That is just the way it works. How you doing, Audio Vibes? Eve says it is true. They have underwater robotics. I believe underwater robotics, and even it's possible that they have these dolphins, but I don't think that they care. I think they're just trying to drive people nuts. But you could be right, Eves. All right, let's get to the next segment.
The people are retarded.
We have to see here what is holding up the economy. How's the economy doing, man? Are you keeping up with the economy? I think that the best economic advice was really just to really listen to Mr. Netanyahu.
I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
You know what a spike is? A spike is this, and then it's a this. It's a spike and a dip, and then it's back to normal. Is it up? Is it down? I don't know, but what seems to be important for the economy is AI. So I'm always trying to keep up with what the latest AI inventions are. And I think this one is at least unique, at least something a little different here. Let's see what AI is doing here.
I want to see you take that first hit. Go ahead, light it, big homie. Don't be shy.
Alright, I got you, gang. We finna spark up right now. Shit gonna be cool, bro. I'm gonna get you faded. You in the hot box with me right now.
Hey, there we go. Light that bitch up, gang. Look at you, eyes already squinting before you even hit it. You know it's been a slap. Go ahead, take that first pull and hold it like a real one. I'm in this hot box with you, nigga. Spark that gas and blow it towards the camera so I can smell it through the screen. Let's get fucked up together.
This shit's strong, bro. Nigga, this shit's strong.
Nigga, I heard that cough loud as fuck. You damn near choked on that shit, bro.
Pause.
I really do love it because at least this isn't diluted, Sam Altman crap. This is the future. The future is this.
Say the N word. Go on.
The future is going to be this. How you doing, Efra? It's going to be you doing heroin or fentanyl with your AI bot. The only thing missing here is the sex robot, or that is going to be it. You are going to be hooked up on the VR machine, smoking the fentanyl, and the AI is going to say the N word. It's going to make you feel at home. It's going to make you feel good, This is going to be the lowest stress possible for the human being. And they'll start you off when you're like 3 years old. They'll hook you up to the fentanyl AI masturbator or something. The Goon Machine 9000. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're not going to build it, but you're going to love it.
You didn't build that.
You're going to love it. Yeah, because you won't know any better. It's going to be like the Matrix, but even cooler. It's going to be awesome. It's going to say the N-word. What more could you want but an AI that calls you the N-word as you do fentanyl? Like, isn't that great? I was already annoyed. I was annoyed in the past when there were like, cute texts in devices. Like, when Apple, when you start the iPhone and it says hello in cursive, and I'm like, fuck you, you're a computer, But now we're going to have it, hello, how you doing? You want a hit of this weed? That's going to be, at least it is more realistic in terms of what AI is going to do than anything that Sam Altman has to say. This is what AI is meant for. Efra says, is this good use of AI? At least it's keeping the economy up, right? I mean, this probably brought GDP another 30 seconds from crashing down.
Your eyes already squinting before you even hit it. You know it's
Great stuff. It's amazing stuff. Let's continue. I had to show you this. This was very interesting. This was at the Met Gala. This is not AI. I thought this was AI at first too. It's not. And I'm not making fun of anyone here or anything. This is, let me read this for you here. Erin Rose Phillip, the first black transgender woman with quadriplegic cerebral palsy signed to a major modeling agency, arriving at the Met Gala. And here we see this is this person who is, again, a quadriplegic transgender cerebral palsy. I don't even know what this means, honestly. And I'm not making fun of this person. I'm really not. What I wonder here is this, and it kind of inspired my video that I made today. Please go like, comment, and subscribe to the latest video. Hype it, do whatever you need. Leave a super thanks if you're really feeling so inclined. This is such a woke throwback. Like, this is what woke was. This felt like a blast from the past, dude. I haven't seen this in years. I have not seen this since the pandemic.
During the pandemic, my lifestyle drastically changed.
I thought this was over. It kind of is comforting to see. I always thought this was a little bit odd, when they did this kind of thing. It really didn't, because there's no, like, isn't Victoria's Secret new old slogan now, hiring slogan, no fat bitches or whatever? They're back to being like heroin chic or whatever. I just saw this and I felt comfortable for a second. I was like, wow, it feels like Obama's president again. This is what it was like under Obama. I'm surprised because nowadays we live in like Sydney Sweeney, good genes or whatever. And here we have, this is like never changed, dude. This is like an artifact from the past, meaning like, whoa, I haven't heard this name in years. Imagine that. And I don't even understand, especially seeing it now in retrospect, what was the point of all this in woke? What was it? Because I'm starting to think that it was just a scam to make a couple people some money.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
gets the people going.
If this were successful, woke, Aaron Rose Phillip would not be the first black transgender woman with quadriplegic, sound like Nick Shirley, with quadriplegic cerebral palsy signed to a major modeling agency arriving at the Met Gala. Wouldn't we have millions of these people? I don't even know how many people fall into this category. But wouldn't we have more than one? I mean, it's just, look, it's good work if you can find it. If you can be the quadriplegic, this is good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many, let me ask Gemini. How many, let's ask Gemini. Let's be serious, because this is what I don't understand about this woke stuff. Okay, let's ask Gemini real quick. Let me do this. Oh, here's it. Gemini. Let's ask Gemini what it has to say about this. I'm really curious. What does Gemini have to say? What % of the global population is black transgender woman with quadriplegic cerebral palsy signed to a major modeling agency arriving at the Met Gala? Statistically, the percentage is 0.0000001%, or roughly 1 in 8 billion. This is what I don't understand about this stuff that the woke were doing. This strikes me as some sort of money laundering operation. I'm not saying that this person has no value. I'm not being a disgusting ableist or anything. I'm just saying, to what commercial end was this done? And I think it's time to reflect on this, given that the woke period is somewhat over. I think the world is now more hostile to this type of person, actually. This is really something bad, what they have gone through. I think that this person received more sympathy before woke happened and everyone was saying, we hate white people or whatever. But regardless, to what commercial end is anyone watching this and going, the 1 in 8 billion, they're like, I'm also a transgender, black, quadriplegic, cerebral palsy person, and I want to wear this dress because it looks great on Aaron. And it's not me being crass. It's just really something that the money power did this, where I'm like, someone made money off of this somehow. There was money in this, I assume, right? Like there was money at some point.
That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of fucking money.
But I just don't understand, and it's not me being an ableist, whatever you want to call me. What is the point of this? My understanding of modeling is that it is to model articles of clothing, accessories that other people look at and go, that is amazing. And in order to do that, in fact, the plus size movement somewhat makes more sense than even this, because people are obese, not after GLP-1s, but isn't the idea to have beautiful people with beautiful clothing on that are still somewhat relatable to inspire you to purchase the clothing? And I'm not saying this person's not beautiful. I mean, this isn't my type. I'm not. Maybe you're into this and it's fine. I don't know.
Hang on.
I don't know. Okay, that's on you. I don't know. But what was this? Because this feels like straight out of 2019, 2018, something that I would have seen when I was in high school or college. People would be like, oh my God, this is so brave. And I'm like, but is this making money though? Like, what is the point of this? This just is weird. I don't get it. It's fine. It's good to make people feel good despite their disabilities. I respect that. But what is the point of this? You're not buying the clothing because of this person. So what is the point? I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Like, it just was heartwarming to see something from the woke era living now. It's kind of like if you saw like a dodo bird or something, you'd be like, whoa, holy shit, dude, that's crazy. I never even got, well, no, it's kind of like, what's something that went extinct recently? You know, something that went extinct recently. Or you're like, whoa, yo, that's crazy, dude. Holy shit. Wow, I didn't even know this was still around. Eve says, awesome use of AI, King. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I do use it for that stuff, for statistics. It's usually pretty good. Jay Bus says, the point of that is the same point as CIA's abstract art. I'm afraid to say the abstract art, but the thing is, at least with like a Jackson Pollock, there is something, right? There is something that I wouldn't buy a Jackson Pollock, but when I see one at the Met, you know, speak of the devil, I'm like, I don't get it, but it's kind of cool. You know, I'm more of a Rothko guy than Jackson Pollock. But yeah, I guess I see what you mean, but like with a human being, it's just so odd. So odd. I mean, I wish them the best. This is great. You know, if you're honestly, dude, if you're that 1 in 8 billion, you know, black, transgender, quadriplegic, cerebral palsy, good for you. I'm happy for you that you got to experience this, but I mean, I'm happy for you, right? I mean, that's all you can say. I'm happy for you. Good for you. You're very lucky. But a lot of people would kill to be in that position. Good for you. Good for you. All right. I guess you worked your way up. All right. Let's continue. On this same theme, given that we did a video about literacy, I thought it would be important to show this. I found this here where people, and again, when I made this video about literacy, it was not mean-spirited. Please do not be mean-spirited when you're talking about literacy. It's not nice.
Shut up. Be quiet before you get X out.
Literacy, I don't think, is tied into IQ, which is already a spurious conflict. The more I learn about IQ, the more spurious I see it. I really am starting to see it. Thanks to my producer. He was like, dude, I think it's like RAM. I don't even think it's not G. We know it's not G. And we don't know what makes up G. I don't think literacy makes you a better person or a worse person or lack of literacy. This is some fucking psyop that the liberals started at some point. And then the communists picked up on it, and then the conservatives. Literacy does not... All right, that's to say, I don't think that literacy is a marker of intelligence. I think literacy is retarded, honestly, you know? But anyway, more people are realizing that there are gradations to literacy. Let's see here. And they're doing amateur anthropological work, which I'm very glad to see.
Read that index card for me.
She wore a suit, clothes that were... Who's this for? Extraordinary, but somewhat Gertrude?
Now explain what that means.
I don't know.
She wore a sahalat of clothes that were extraordinary, whatever, bro, but somewhat gooch.
What does that mean?
She wore a lot. Wait, she wore, bro, I don't know, bro. Can you take the card back, please?
She wore a, oh, baby. She wore a silhouette of clothes that were, bitch, I don't know that word. I don't even know how to read. I don't know why I did.
She wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary, but somewhat gosh.
All right, now what does that mean?
I have no idea. Like his clothes was nice or something like that.
She wore a, I don't know what this shit say. I don't know what this shit say. I don't know what this shit say. I can't read it. Can't read it. Can't read it. Cancel back.
This attempt, or I don't know if it's an attempt, okay? And there is a subtle mockery here. Afra says, I think you got your rant about literacy is all about inference. The more you can inference, the more you can understand deeply. Exactly. That is the important thing, right? Where I don't know if he's aware. I am happy to see this work done because it's fascinating to see it. But what's important is, and we see it throughout this video, that the inference is where people really fail. They're not able to infer from the text despite their inability to read it. But I'll be honest with you, dude, I don't even know what this means. She wore a silhouette of clothes. What is a silhouette of clothes? I understand what a silhouette is and what clothes are. A silhouette of clothes, I mean, I'm inferring, but a silhouette is like a shadow that were extraordinary but somewhat gauche. I understand that it's saying like she wore clothing that was, you know, like over the top, basically, because it's extraordinary. Like it's, you look at it, obviously, and you're like, wow, that's crazy, but it's also gauche. It's base. It's not great, you know. But silhouette, I'm kind of struggling there, you know. And I see ACT says gauche is not a commonly used word. That's the thing. I use the word gauche quite a bit, but I'm a snob. I'll admit that I am a snob. You know, that's just how I am. I'm a snob in hell, okay? But I'm a snob. I'm one of those assholes.
These fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man?
I am a snob, and that's fine, okay? That's fine. I get to be a snob, okay? I'm also, like, not a total snob. I can appreciate the gutter and the opera house. It's the middle. It's the bourgeois that kills me. The bourgeois makes me want to drive my car into a palm tree, okay? But this is fascinating to see in real life where people are starting to realize this, and I just don't see what I don't like is the subtle attempt to ascribe moral failure to this. I don't know why the literacy is like this, but it's always going to be like this. There's no such thing as everyone achieving level 5 literacy as stated by the PIAAC, okay? And it's not a moral failure. This is kind of like when they used to tell people that were fat that it's a moral failure. And then they discovered the GLP and realized that insulin resistance is a thing. This isn't even their fault. Like, why are you mad at someone for this? In a lot of ways, I wonder, you can get away with most of life without reading, actually. If the world were not ugly and broken and you could get away with it if you didn't have to read. Why do you think graphic design still exists in its pathetic form? Because the Nike swoosh is a universal sign for basketball shoes and shirts. And why do you think Adidas has the 3 stripes? Because it is still, now before it used to be a lot cooler, the graphic design, because people didn't know how to read, but now it's this crap like this. So I think that it's interesting to see this. I don't see why it is a moral failure. And when I hope that at some point we are able to realize this. And also I hope at some point that it is irrelevant, the reading, that AI will free us from the written word, which in all honesty is an aberration from human history, as we have always been an oral people. All right. I didn't know that Adidas was sued. That's pretty crazy. J-Boss says, they recently found that Europeans and Asians have had writing systems for thousands of years, earlier than the first acknowledged alphabet. Compare that to Africans' experience with writing. Well, but I would say my producer, he's from the Horn, right? And I think they have the oldest writing system in the world, Guz, right? I think when people talk about that, they usually mean like sub-Saharan Africa, but I don't know. I have like an odd theory on that, where I think that, not to get Jared Diamond, but maybe there was a written language or something that it's not a durable place. I don't think it's very easy to preserve writing in pre-colonial sub-Saharan Africa. And again, I'm not even trying to fight you, J-Boss, or be nitpicking, but I'm just saying, like, you know, in the desert, in the cold, in Mesoamerica even, you can preserve it, right, because of these stones or whatever, but Africa is just a terrible geography for most things. There's a really good video that breaks it down where, like, they have no navigable rivers. And I find that shit fascinating, personally. And I think they might have had stuff that was either, you know, like, you cannot build, unfortunately, if the environment does not allow you to. But I'm assuming they had to have had at some form something, because I mean, can you even make paper out of, because I know that in Mesoamerica there was a use of beads and stones and all this to preserve things. I think in Chile they used beads and rope to write. But can you even do that in sub-Saharan Africa? It's scary to think about. That environment is very hostile to preserving things. But I don't know. I also, and not to digress, but I don't know. I think you're kind of implying that there's like an IQ thing or something. I don't even think developing writing has to do with IQ, right? I think developing writing has to do with convenience or something, or like a cultural thing in terms of a desire for memory and spreading things, which is not necessarily a good thing. It's not necessarily a good thing. I think that there's advantages and disadvantages, right? I mean, that is why these legalistic cultures like Europe, like America, end up with a lot of schizophrenia in some ways, because they can't ever like stop and rebuild or anything like that. They can't ever be like, all right, scrap it all and rebuild. And others are, but I don't know. I'm not a professional. Right? You say it's about need, not IQ. I agree. Can't preserve writing in Germanic countries either, because they wrote on wood, so we find stuff in bogs. There's always another. That is true, but are there bogs in sub-Saharan Africa? Because like in the Amazon, I don't think that you could find any writing. Like in the dense Amazon, I'm sure that all that gets eaten up. But yeah, the bogs, you're right. But bogs are like a European thing, right? I think they're in England, like the bog bodies and all that. And finally, for this segment, I wanted to look at here. This is very interesting to me. Spirit Airlines went bankrupt. We're going to talk about that later in the week, most likely, because of fuel prices. It seemed like it was just a poor business model. It was never profitable from the start. But running an airline is not a profitable endeavor. If you wanted to get into the airline to make a profit, I mean, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know how airlines work.
Sensational.
You are actually stupid. That's not how airlines work. When you try to make money running an airline,
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
it is overregulated, overtaxed, and it doesn't even make sense for the government to allow you to make money, because it is a government enterprise by proxy. But we are living at this odd time where, is the TSA open? Is it shut down? Does it matter? Do we know? Is it working? I have no idea. Spirit Airlines gets shut down. Today I hear that JetBlue is being shut down, that also Frontier will be shut down because of fuel prices. Do you know? Do you not? But immediately afterwards, Delta came in and lowered prices. So was there a reason for the gas price? Is it even that? Is it competitive on cost? What is the reason for it? I don't understand. But the people are going a little crazy on the airline. I thought I'd show you, because this is a problem that is developing, where Americans, for better or worse, forgot 9/11. The day when some hard men did some terrible things.
I like to get a bunch of men together.
Okay.
Men that are the hardest of the hard. And I want to be with these men.
It was, some people did some things, as Ilhan Omar said. Americans have forgotten 9/11 and its consequences, and you can see it in their behavior on the airlines. And I'm actually happy about that in some ways, because it's liberating to see Americans return to the rowdy, ugly American stereotype that we've always had, where we'll fight you or something. But it's too late. Patriot Act, you're cucked, the no-fly list and all this. But I think flying is going to get significantly more difficult. And unfortunately, before you had the option to drive, but now with gas prices, it's not even worth it. It's not worth it. After the pandemic, hotel prices, let's see how the people, my fellow Gentiles, are doing on the airlines.
Hey, how long has it been delayed already? 3-4 hours, and now you're talking another hour? Get me to the gate. I want off, or I'll take myself off. Okay? Here you go. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Who are you? Doesn't matter exactly. You know who matters? Me. Yeah. I told you, idiots.
Hey, sir, this is the captain.
Here's the pilot. Oh, here's the pilot.
Sir.
Okay, good.
Sir, This is the captain speaking. We are going to go back to the gate.
Yeah, good idea.
Now,
I don't even think he's being unreasonable. I don't think so. I don't know if anyone here has suffered a delay like this. And this is the opposite of the slave mentality.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the slave mentality, the slave mind.
This is, I mean, you shouldn't do this. I'm not proscribing it to you. I'm not telling you what to do. I once had a flight that was delayed by 10 hours. 10 hours. If you were going to Chipotle, say Chipotle, and they told you there is a 10-hour delay, you would call the police.
Why are you in our country? You need to go back.
You would leave. You would find it terrible. You would write on Google reviews some schizophrenic rant about how they did something terrible and Yelp or whatever. I'm not saying a 10-hour line. I'm saying a 10-hour delay. They're saying, we will have your food for you in 10 hours. You would write a review. You would, and eventually it would either improve or shut down. That is how the free market, not to sound like that idiot Dave Smith.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
But the libertarians have a point on that. Yet with these fucking airlines, they can just abuse you on price, on seating size, on everything. And they will continue to exist as if there is no issue. And I don't understand how people have not done. There was fear for a long time. You know, you were on an airplane and you said, I can't say the word bomb. The air marshal's going to execute me in front of these children because I said the word bomb. I was just saying that this was the bomb.com, but I can't say that, and now I have a bullet hole in my head. That is how things were. I remember this, dude. I was very young. I don't remember 9/11, but I remember the era explicitly after that, the next 10 to 15 years. And the people are not demanding change. Like, they're not demanding, hey, you can't rape me like this. You can't. What's that Nirvana song? Rape me. That is the cry. That is what every time that you press buy on an airline ticket, they should play that Nirvana song. Rape me, buy, rape me, because that's what you are having done to you. And as the prices get more insane, the passengers get crazier, I don't see how this doesn't happen with me and my fellow gents. I just don't understand how you could cuck like this to the airlines. So I am glad to see it, although I wouldn't recommend you do it. All right, let's get to the stories, everyone. Let's get to the stories. Oof. Can't watch that. We're going to watch that next time. Let's get to the stories. We have a lot to get through, okay? Again, Eve says, I had to sit on a plane for 4 hours with my child. I got a $350 hotel room out of it for a one-night layover. It was tough. They had some small damage to the plane door. I got, for my 10-hour layover, the delay, a $40 meal voucher. You know what $40 buys you at the airport? Absolutely nothing. It was just terrible. And they were annoyed that I asked for it. Can you believe that? Can you believe that these animals treat you like that? Whatever. I don't even want to think. Let's get to the main story. We have to talk about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, one of the great people in the world. Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson did an interview with the New York Times this weekend. Okay? Before we even look at the interview, I have to explain to you who interviewed him, which is this lady here, Lulu Garcia Navarro. Okay? I have hated this woman for years. If you're not familiar, she worked for NPR. She is raised in Miami, born in England, half Panamanian, half Cuban. I think we have to make a rule here. Everyone except Andy Garcia Pitbull King Leo Miami, from Miami, you should like immediately call them a scammer and run away. They are going to scam you. People from Miami are, dude, they are not exactly the best most of the time. At least the ones that make it to media. These people are, this woman here is the biggest coon.
Oh, coons, we wanna have fun. Oh, coons, we wanna have fun.
I need to show you, before we start this, I have always despised this woman. I have found her to be incredibly shallow and boring and stupid and trite. If you watch her here, I mean, look at this. This is her doing a panel talking about how immigration is tough. She is a liberal who is a descendant of Cubans that left during the revolution and Panamanians. I mean, let's just listen to Lulu here.
Most of my childhood. So it was, I consider Florida my home state, which it is. I now, as I was telling you before we came on, I have a flamingo in my front yard because I have to represent.
Yeah, and I see on your Twitter thing you say you're a Florida woman.
Yeah, I always think that's funny. I'm obsessed with like a Florida man, a Florida woman, how it always starts, and then there's some terrible thing that comes after it. And I take that mantle proudly. I am a Florida woman in many ways. So
this vapid, and I have to tell you, I made me want to agree with this or something. This vapid crap. I'm a Florida woman. Well, you don't live in Florida. You live in New York. You were born in England. You're not a Florida woman. Regardless, this vapid crap, she's Hispanic. And she's proud to be Hispanic. So proud that she married a white man.
I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
This stuff, this drives me mad. It really does. That level of tap dancing. Where's the shucking and jiving?
Oh, go shuck and jive, I'm gonna shuck and jive, I'm gonna get on down and tap dance, I'm gonna shuck it.
I don't care about interracial, interethnic relationships. I really don't. If you care, that's fine. I don't. What I do care about is clearly, if you are doing this, you are not a proud Latina woman because you are marrying another culture. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make sense to me. It's always the same thing with this type of liberal. It's revolutionary in the streets, colonizing the sheets, right? Like that's the same criticism of AOC and these types. Further on the cooning, her name is Lourdes. And she went by Lourdes Garcia Navarro for a long time. Lourdes is a name that is also known in the English language, right? We know this name. And she used this name to get her foot in the door, right? Because you still have to carry the stigma of the vowels at the end of Garcia Navarro. But Lourdes is it's commendable. It's, you could be Spanish. You could be from the continent. You could even be Portuguese, maybe. I don't know. And yet a few years ago, she changed her name to Lulu to sound more Hispanic. This is a skinwalker, a coon. Okay? And to show you some real coonery, this is, I can't find this clip anywhere else. This is her fighting with this guy. You might recognize him from Bill Maher. Where she is, I just have to show it to you. They're fighting about some bullshit. I don't know, George Floyd or something. The caption is, for those who know me, busting out Spanish on CNN won't be a surprise. This is for every Latino who finds an argument. This level of low self-esteem, this is unbelievable. Let's see this. Let's see what she said to really, flare her roots.
She said,
Well, you can say it's ridiculous.
That's Kara Swisher, by the way, the George Galloway's friend.
Ridiculous. You can make that assertion, but fundamentally the domains to have overrepresentation. And that means that underrepresentation can.
This is a level of tap dancing, buck dancing, just a slave mentality.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the slave mentality, the slave mind.
Just, yeah, Lourdes, yeah. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. This is so sick. Like, you are going on CNN to use your language, supposedly, as a costume, as some. Look at. I don't like the guy she's debating.
Well, you can
I don't like him. I forget his name, dude. He's on Bill Maher. I think he's annoying. I think he's of Indian Caribbean descent. I never see him bust out the Hindi and start dancing like. What's the Hindi dance? Tally ho, the Slumdog Millionaire. I don't see him do that. This is a level of tap dancing that is embarrassing. I'm going to get up there and I'm going to yell, ridiculo, with an extra rolled R. So the white people are like, oh.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
gets the people going.
This, you married a white man. You use this as a costume. You're a coon. I mean, what a mapache, bro. That's what you are. When we are speaking, she did a whole Twitter thread. I was going to show it to you, but we won't have the time. Where she defended, because when she speaks in English, she pronounces everything in Spanish. When I speak in English and I have to say Venezuela, I say Venezuela. But she goes, hello, my name is Lulu Garcia Navarro. And today we are talking about Venezuela. This is... You are the worst. You are just the worst person doing that. It's just...
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
That is a... If we were on a plantation, if it were the old South, you would be the slave, the bed wench. I'm not making it about... I'm just saying this is... Buck dance, buck dancing crap. It is a confused, but she knows what she's doing, right? Because it's made her a whole lot of money.
You know, it's up with me, man. Money really good over here, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You heard me? Money good, nigga.
That's what you should hear her saying every time. My money good. This level of tap, and thank God that I have a lot of problems with the anti-woke people. This type of person is not worthy of cleaning streets. She should literally be an actress in a minstrel show if she's going to do this. This is a minstrel show. This is a woman who is and it's not because she's dude, if you are a proud Hispanic man, I'm a proud Hispanic man. I'm gonna be a man. And you marry a white woman, what are you talking about? You're full of shit. I'm just saying, I don't mean to get too Dr. Umar over here.
Some of them going to sleep. Fuck that!
But if you're going to preach, if you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm the most Hispanic of the Hispanic. If you're not Hispanic in your home, how are you Hispanic? I just find it so silly. I really do find it silly. Minstrel show shit, man. I think it's, how you doing at everything? Why is she busting Spanish for George Floyd? Let's watch it one more. I'm glad you said that one more time. Let's watch this. This is, if I'm telling you, dude, if someone can power the world with coonery, we will never need another drop of oil.
You can make that assertion, but fundamentally the domains to have overrepresentation. And that means that underrepresentation.
And the little hand gestures, and she's dressed up like Anna Maria Polo or something like, I am your crazy Hispanic aunt, auntie, as people like to say. Let's look at her Instagram really quick. Let's look at this. Failing upwards, by the way, this is her whole life. This is the life of many of these people failing upwards. This person is not popular. They're not known, but now they work at the New York Times. By the way, when you look at this outfit, This woman is 52 years old. This is a 52-year-old woman dressing like this. And I would say the same thing of a 52-year-old man wearing a graphic t-shirt. This is not a 35-year-old woman. This is a 52-year-old woman. And it's not stylish. It is ridiculous. I mean, this is 52 years old and still playing this game. Playing this game. I am astounded at this type of person. How does this person still exist? 52 years old. 52 years old. Truly something. Lulu. Yeah, your name is Lourdes, bitch. Your name is Lourdes. All right. We're going to get to her interview. I had everything says, I saw you cover the kids that can't read words off paper. I heard they were expelled the kid that did the video. No way, dude. That's crazy. Please send me the article of that. That is crazy. Wow. All right. That is crazy, dude. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm going to look that up after the show. Let's see. Now that you have an idea of who this person is, 52 years old, dressed like this, dude. Brother, are you a 27-year-old performative male with these glasses and the soft little cut and the striped shirt? Are you going to pull out a Beatles White Album third printing or something? It's embarrassing, honestly. I mean, aren't you a proud Latina? Why don't you wear a poncho and a sombrero to interview Tucker Carlson? Oh, I see. Someone decided to dress a little bit white. So someone decided to dress. I know what you're doing, bitch. I know what you're doing. This is a psychopath. And this kind of person, man. Listen, identity's complicated. Absolutely. I don't fault some Hispanics that never learned Spanish or something. I'm not going to say they're not Latino at the very least, you know. You're born in America, your parents don't speak Spanish. That's fine. But this level of tap dancing, Lourdes put on her best tap dancing shoes. She got them shoe shined by the shoe shiner. She was going, oh, yes, and boss, I can't wait to tap my tap dancing shoes at the Tucker Carlson main estate. Ooh, yes, I love. This is embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. And let's see how the interview went. I just have to let you know about Lourdes, not Lulu, Lourdes, and what she did. I everything says, bro, when AOC runs in 2028, it's over. She's going to destroy our reputation. Dude, no, she has those tendencies too. She really does. Dude, and you know what is the shame is that it not only ruins it here, it ruins it in Latin America too. The other Latinos in Latin America or Hispanics, they're like, bro, these people, they're all the same. They're all Lulu. They're all Lourdes. And no, we're not. We're not. That impression, Jay. No, but dude, I can do the coon impression real good.
Oh, coons, we wanna have fun. Oh, coons, we wanna have fun.
Yes, Master. I love to do a little tap dancing at the Tucker Carlson house, at the Carlson estate. I love the Carlson, otherwise known as Clotilda, one of my favorite plantations. That she might as well have said that. She might as well have showed up. All right. Let's see what Tucker Carlson had to say now that we know who this woman is. I'm glad that I was able to red pill you, for lack of a better word, on Lourdes.
Who do you think is more morally repulsive, Ted Cruz or
Who
Nick
do you think
Fuentes?
is more morally repulsive?
Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is a sitting U.S. senator who has called for the killing of people who did nothing wrong, whole populations who advocated for this war. Nick Fuentes is like a kid. He's like 26 or 70. He has no power except his words. Here you have a public official who we pay, who has actual power, who's voting for things, who's making policy decisions, and those decisions would include. In fact, they are focused on the murder of people who did nothing wrong. And yet no one thinks it's a big deal. Well, this is totally fine. I mean, if there's tape of Nick Fuentes saying we should kill people because we hate their parents, or it's okay to kill children, I would love to see the tape, because that's disgusting. And that's basically what the entire U.S. Senate does every single day, and no one notices. Nick Fuentes said something naughty that I disagreed with. He made fun of things that I don't think I would never make fun of them.
He's a white nationalist who's denied the Holocaust. And what I will say,
okay, but is that worse than killing kids?
From my
what is this shawl? You're calling Nick Fuentes a white nationalist in the whitest costume I have seen. And white people, they pull this off. This goes hard on the whites. The whites, they walk around in a shawl. It's like the fucking Queen Mother in Dune, all right? The whites look cool in this. This woman looks like Abuelita on GLP doing this. This hairstyle is not flattering. I don't know if you hate yourself. And by the way, I'm not doing a subtle thing where I'm like, oh, Cubans suck or anything. I love Cubans. I love them. Rick Sanchez, he did a little cooning, of course, but not, this is some real cooning, okay? Andy Garcia, never done any cooning, actually. Actually, one of the only ones who hasn't. You're wearing a shawl, bitch, and you're talking about how Nick Fuentes, my Hispanic brother, is a white nationalist. You are dressed. This is what I don't understand about liberalism. And you guys know I hate conservatives. This woman here is claiming to be for diversity, equity, and inclusion and all this, right? That is the truth. Yet she cannot dress, act, and speak any more like a white person than anyone I've met. This is what I find fascinating about people who integrate into liberalism. And look, I love liberalism, dude. I love listening to Depeche Mode at the bisexual nightclub after voting for Kamala Harris and fucking listening to Charlie XCX. I love it. I love liberalism. I love liberal coffee. I love all that shit, right? But this is what I really don't get, because this is the ultimate expression of white nationalism, actually. Not to get a little racist. I mean, where is it? Where is it?
Again, I don't want to get all racist or whatever, but you know,
this Lourdes is a white nationalist, and this functionally she is. Otherwise, she would have shown up in her sombrero with her. I mean, she's saying she's a proud Latina woman. And by the way, I'm not siding with Tucker Carlson or Nick Fuentes. I'm fixated on Lourdes here because it's really something to show up wearing this. Not even some color, not anything. Not even, I mean, you would not be mistaken. Not be mistaken. Insane. It really is embarrassing, man. Like it's embarrassing. Let's continue.
Understanding of my own, you know, I was just in Germany recently. And, you know, it was such a good reminder that the Holocaust didn't start with the gassing of Jews. It started with the dehumanization of Jews. It was language that was used. And again, that is what it concerns
I couldn't agree
people.
more. And that's why when you have a U.S. senator, a member of Congress, a U.S. ambassador waving away civilian deaths as if they don't matter, that's the language of genocide, which results, and this is the lesson of the Holocaust, in genocide itself. And it has. So the lesson for me, really, watching all of this, is that this can happen in civilized countries. In all human beings, there is the capacity to ignore the evil right in front of you. And my point is, it's happening right now. And my job, to the extent I have one, I don't really have a job, but I just want to remind people that we're all capable of that, including me, and that we're watching it right now. And if you think that Nick Fuentes is a greater threat to other human beings than Ted Cruz, I would love to know how.
I can imagine people hearing this and thinking you are soft pedaling Nick Fuentes. You are apologizing for Nick Fuentes.
I'm hardly soft pedaling Nick Fuentes. I'm trying to awaken people to killing of innocents in our midst, which we are not only encouraged to ignore, but really told to ignore on pain of being denounced. And I'm just saying, no, I'm not doing that.
This is so, I know a lot of people were like, oh, this is the Tucker epic interview or something. I'm not judging this politically. I'm not, okay? I don't care. I don't care. This interview, I know a lot of people were like, this is so epic that Tucker Carlson is getting Lourdes to shut the fuck up or something. This woman is so untalented and so bad at her job. And this is everyone at the New York Times, by the way. Ross Douthat, same thing. A fat, ugly freak. All right. The New York Times, all of the interviewers from Barry Weiss onwards, ugly little freaks.
Disgusting and gross. I mean, he should just be. I don't like ugly, stupid freaks.
This is quite obvious. This person is not capable of doing their job. I am impressed, honestly. I am impressed that anyone came away from this saying like, oh, you know, total Tucker win. Yeah, dude, I'm not shitting on Tucker Carlson here, but Tucker Carlson is talking to a literal mental midget here. Like, this is insane. This is a mental retard. This person is not capable of original thought or anything. And I'm telling you, because I have followed Lourdes' career. I have followed it. This person is not talented or intelligent. But anyway, setting that aside, I actually think that Tucker Carlson was kind of snaking Mr. Fuentes here, which I don't even understand what's going on, dude, because I was reflecting on Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes today, and I was like, Nick Fuentes, I know he's very popular, and I don't have anything against him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting the Groyper curse. Groyper's welcome. Groypers are cool. I like the Groyper. They're cool. All the Groypers we have here have been cool so far. How are you doing, CCTV? But I don't think Nick Fuentes has really won anything yet. I know in theory he can, right? Like in theory, he can either disrupt or push a candidate by concentrating his voters. But if we think about it, Nick Fuentes, in 2020, he supported President Trump, so much so the Stop the Steal thing. In 24, he said not to vote, but President Trump won. So far, he is, I'm not saying it's more bark than bite or anything, but this is something interesting where when, in comparison to Tucker Carlson, whether we can, my producer's theory is that every little bit counted to elect President Trump in 2024. Every little bit. Whether it's the Charlie Kirk or Nick Fuentes, or Tucker Carlson or Glenn Beck, every little bit actually counted. And I think that that's objectively true. So if that's the case, then Tucker Carlson, I think he's lost once, right? Because he didn't even support Trump in 2020, right? Isn't that when it leaked when he was like, I hate him or whatever? He's like an agent of chaos. I don't know what Tucker Carlson's actual goal is. But we can see that on the power dynamic, you know, Tucker Carlson has some influence in this administration, obviously. And who knows if it's all kayfabe or fake, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, when Tucker Carlson says that Nick Fuentes doesn't really matter, that he doesn't have power, he's just a kid in his basement, I see it as a snake. It is saying this person has no impact. They don't matter. They could say anything they wanted. And as long as it's within the paradigms of free speech, it will have no influence, unlike myself. That is what he's saying, because, you know, he's saying Mike Huckabee or something, but he is making a distinction. He's saying, I matter. He does not matter. And I think we're going to follow up as to why that matters. How you doing, Full Hat? Let's continue. Here we get to see some real schizo moments here. I'm glad if the New York Times did something, it's that they gave Lourdes the right questions to show that Tucker Carlson is no stranger to switching it up on his audience.
You've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
On your show, the day after Easter, you noted
we all saw him say that on this show. That's why we do this show. Tucker Carlson did call President Trump the Antichrist.
Did not put his hand on the Bible during his swearing-in ceremony as president. You said, and I'm quoting, maybe he didn't put his hand on the Bible because he affirmatively rejects what's inside that book. And then on a recent show, you went further saying, here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist?
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist? Here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist? Well, who knows? I don't know where that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips because I'm not sure I fully understand what the Antichrist is. If there's just one, I actually tried to understand it. I may have said some are asking that. I'm not weighing in on that because I don't understand it.
I actually do like this one. This is an old journalist trick, right? But he literally did say this. Dude, because I have been attacking Tucker Carlson slightly on this show for switching it up, for getting the audience to be like, oh, yeah, I guess he never said that, or he did say that, or something that the audience is not. And Tucker Carlson is clearly doing this, dude. I swear, it feels like, I'm sure if you're Tucker Carlson's wife, you're like, Tucker, did you move my shoes? And Tucker goes, of course not, honey. Oh! You know, and you're like, Tucker, baby, I'm pretty sure you moved my shoes. No, I didn't. Why would I have moved your shoes? That is what Tucker being married to is like. And I'm glad to see this mediocrity that is Lourdes Garcia. Dude, look, I have a hyphenated last name. Every Hispanic does. I'm not using that shit in America, bro. Whenever, that's another sign, whenever you see a Hispanic insist on the hyphenated last name, brother, you use your dad's. That's how it works. That is how it works in America, in an Anglo-Saxon nomenclature naming country. When I'm in Latin America, brother, I'm using the full name, middle name, last name, everything, all of it. When you're at the New York Times insisting on this, Garcia Navarro, bitch, you're named after a pharmacy. Like, shut the fuck up. It's Lourdes Garcia. Her name is Lourdes Garcia. Anyway, the very untalented Lourdes Garcia was able to use this journalistic trick to at least expose that Tucker is fucking annoying and changes his opinion a lot, and I'm glad to see that. Okay? Now, here, of course, we would be remiss. He says he also does talk about gay sex. Does he do this in this interview, dude? Because I didn't finish it. Does he do it in this one? In this one, it would not be Tucker if we didn't have a little bit of sorcery involved, of course. Let us listen to the sorcery that President Trump gets up to over his cauldron, his black cats.
Instead, there were a lot of cowardly people, as there always are, and Trump engenders cowardice in the people around him through intimidation. And there is a kind of quality that he has that's spellbinding, and I think it probably literally is a spell. And the effect is to weaken people around him and make them more compliant and more confused. And I've experienced this myself. You spend a day with Trump and sort of like you're in this kind of dreamland. It's like smoking hash or something. It's interesting, very interesting. And there may be a supernatural component to it. I'm not a theologian, but it's real, and anyone who's been around him can tell you.
One more time, hang on. One more. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. It's just let's listen to this one more time. One more time, with this in mind.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
gets the people going.
One more time.
Is to weaken people around him and make them more compliant and more confused. And I've experienced this myself. You spend a day with Trump and sort of like you're in this kind of dreamland. It's like smoking hash or something. It's interesting, very interesting. And there may be a supernatural component to it. I'm not a theologian, but it's real. And
Right. This country is going insane, dude. This country is going insane. Being around President Trump is like a dreamland, actually. It's like smoking hashish, which is a type of marijuana. There may even be a supernatural element to this. However, I am not a theologian, and therefore I cannot judge it.
It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining.
This is insane. It's insane. How does he keep saying this? How does he keep saying this stuff? Efra says, I get the sense that everyone is making everyone insane. Absolutely true. It's not an external force. It's the American culture we have created. It's something that has to be overcome to actually move forward. But at this point, the whole country is literally going insane. I think the only way out is through, Efra. I don't think that you can really overcome it. Tucker Carlson is on the New York Times podcast saying that President Trump, when you meet him, it's like you just smoked hashish and there's a supernatural element involved, but he's not sure because he's not a theologian. That is so far gone, Efra, that I really, there's no going back. I mean, and as a Bajalardian, you couldn't expect any less. It's kind of like that TikTok, I just didn't expect him to be Chinese. I didn't expect it to be this crazy. I thought it would be crazy in other ways, but saying that President Trump he may be supernatural. He's hashish and whatever. Let's continue. I think we might have seen this. Let's see again. 1 second.
Who do you think is more
Yeah, we saw this already.
morally repulsive? Ted Cruz.
We saw this here. Let's continue because we have to get to Nick Wentz's responses, obviously.
I don't think it's, by the way, good for global Jewry to have any of this at all. If you tell 350 million Americans that it's against the law, and it's very close to against the law at this point, it's against the law to criticize Israel. How does that help the perception? Does that feed anti-Semitism? I think it does.
I would say it's not exactly against the law, but I understand you're
Someone
referring to
someone was just arrested. I don't think it's, by the way, good.
Dude, I think that the Israel thing has not helped. I feel like Michael Tracy, honestly, someone that doesn't really follow Israeli politics. I don't really care about it, honestly. And I know you're getting the $7,000, bitch. Yeah, you're a Zionist. No, I don't care what happens in Sri Lanka, dude. I don't care. One Belt, One Road was there, so I don't care what's happening in Uzbekistan right now. I don't care. But listen, there are people who are critical of Israel, and that's fine, dude. There are people, I don't care what you think about Israel, dude. If you think that Israel shouldn't exist, that's your opinion, okay? When people are like, right to exist, I'm always like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Anyway. But the introduction of Israel-based conspiracy thought, whether true or false, is just, it's really, I don't think that this is really good. I think that there was a serious conversation that I would have probably enjoyed before last year about Israel. And now I hear the word Israel, and I'm like, what are we going to go to JFK and Pearl Harbor? And what are we talking about here? Because there's always something. Like, it's like, oh, Israel. And then they, dude, you know that the Challenger explosion? There's no way. There's no. And everyone is doing this now. And the New York Times in broadcasting this. I mean, Tucker Carlson's audience is huge anyway, so they might as well join in. But is this the future? Are we going to be fighting about Israel this much? Is Israel? We need to have Israel Day in America at this point. Maybe that will relieve some of the tension in our heads. People are thinking about this a lot, I just never thought, because, and it's so fascinating, because I remember back in the day, which is 8 years ago. It's not even that long ago. If you talked about Israel negatively in this country, you were in trouble. And if I recall correctly, it started on the left with the BDS moment and all the BDS movement and all that. They were like, oh, you can't get a job if you support BDS or something. And I was always like, I guess that's bad. I don't care. I don't support any. I don't get it. I really don't get. You know that at UF, at the University of Florida, a guy who was running fucking execution firing squads was a professor. That there was a professor at the University of Florida that was giving orders to firing squads in Cuba. And we're going to talk about whether people that do the BDS or whatever get a job. Who cares? But that's my opinion. And I remember you used to get in trouble because of this, and you get like castigated and set out. But now it's just on the New York Times. And this is another reason this country is going insane, because people just say, all right, let's continue. Of course, it wouldn't be complete without some Charlie Kirkinator conspiracies, of course.
I want to stay, though, with how some of this is playing out, because as you mentioned, you were very close to Charlie Kirk before he was killed. And he started Turning Point USA, which is this very influential group among young people on the right. And you're now seeing some on the right who are questioning whether Israel had a hand in Charlie Kirk's murder. And I should say the theories that Israel was linked to Charlie's death were denied by Israel. There's been no proof of that at all. And crucially, this theory has been condemned by Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow. Do you still have a relationship with Turning Point USA?
Well, I have always loved Erica Kirk. I met her when she was dating Charlie and thought so much of her. I know a lot of people at Turning Point. I was the headliner for a bunch of different Turning Point events. I haven't been asked to do it this year. Don't know if I will be. Never said a word against Turning Point. I think it's been a really, well, I was their headliner for a bunch of years, so obviously I supported it. I would hate to see it hijacked by its donors to become an oracle of neoconservatism. I think it'd be pretty hard to do because its members are not for that. Young people are not for that. People of draft age are especially not for that.
I mean, when was the last time you spoke to Erica Kirk?
A couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
By text. So my concern, and this is not about Erica Kirk or Andrew Colvett or any of those people with whom I've never had a crossword and hope never to have a crossword. But my concern more broadly is about the investigation into Charlie's murder, which was short-circuited by the FBI. And I'd like to know why. And I don't care to be screamed at for asking that question. It's a legitimate question, and we know that. Well, I know that for a bunch of reasons. But the public knows it because Joe Kent said it out loud and explained it. He's the head of the National Counterterrorism Center. He's an ODNI. And he was told by the FBI that he could not investigate it. And as a friend of Charlie's, I'm not going to be intimidated into saying the following, which is, on what grounds would you do that? I'm not saying the guy who's been arrested didn't pull the trigger. I'm not, there's been no trial.
He was obviously handed over by his father.
Do we know that? I don't know what I know.
This is crazy, man. I know that you're probably listening to this. She is so damn ugly. Lourdes Garcia. I'm Hispanic, dude. I like Hispanic women. She is so ugly. This woman is so ugly. And I think it's the makeup, the glasses don't make sense. I mean, what is she dressed as for this interview? I don't want to get fixated on this, but I kind of am. What is this haircut? It's terrible. The makeup, I can see the foundation. Too much. Let's see her if her face even moves. Look at this. No movement. This is just all Botox. This woman is so ugly. It's embarrassing how ugly and it's self-imposed. This bitch looks like Mother Goose, but on Ozempic. Why would you send someone this ugly to interview Tucker? And if it were a man Ross Douthat is a hideous, ugly gremlin too. And he works for the NYT. I'm not being sexist. She is so, I like Hispanic. I am Hispanic. Who gave her this haircut? This is a terrible, I'm sorry, man. This is such a bad look. 52 years old. You would have found your haircut by now. You would have found the proper shirt. A shawl? This looks like a 35-year-old at a bookstore in New York. A man.
What I know, because there hasn't been a trial yet. And again, it's like so many things. And it's not just Israel. It's not just Charlie Kirk. It's the existence of NATO or the way the economy is structured. Why is capital taxed at half the rate of labor? Like, that's a question that bothers me. In every case, shut up. Socialist, racist, conspiracy theorist. It's like, I'm just too old for that. Why don't you answer the question? That's my job.
Do you think Turning Point's influence has
Nothing on her face is moving. Do you see this? How much Botox is in this woman's face? She's spending half her salary on Botox. Not a single bit of her face is moving. Not 1 inch, not 1 millimeter is moving.
Influence has waned since Charlie's death?
I haven't the faintest idea. I do think that, I agree with most Americans when I say I think this war's a disaster. It's impossible to see how it helps the United States. And, I would like to see all self-described conservative groups pressure the president, as Charlie did, to minimize the damage. And I hope Turning Point is working on that. I don't know the answer, but I certainly hope they are. So they should. I can't say confidently Charlie would be working to do that.
All right, so there we have, of course, the schizo drop by that. All right.
Other people's gods.
All right. We're almost at the Fuentes response. Let's watch this here.
Saying, which is, you cannot mock other people's gods and put yourself in their place, period. That is a deal.
I'm sorry. No, we watched this. This is not important. What is important before we get to Fuentes is that Tucker Carlson made an insane claim, dude, like a crazy claim on this, which is that his son, let me find this portion here. We have to go to YouTube for it. His son does not have any advantages by being Tucker Carlson's son. And it's really something to watch, man. This is going to be crazy. And Fuentes addresses this. I don't know if Tucker Carlson, I know people are like, oh, he owned her. Dude, this guy is either delusional or malevolent. I can't tell. But I think he's trying to drive the country. I mean, we know he's trying to drive the country and say, God damn, this woman is so ugly. Dude, let's not be sexist. Let's look up Ross Douthat, who's also on the New York Times. Why are they hiring ugly people to be their podcast hosts? Look at this. This is Ross Douthat. This man is so bad looking. Look at this. I mean, it's not even the hair, man. It's just, what is this? A face only a mother could love. A face for radio. And they're putting them in front of the camera. This is the other NYT host. J-Boss says, I'm glad the YouTube's letting you play. Oh, but it's NYT, so I think NYT doesn't really matter. I mean, they would have taken it by now, but Tucker's, I doubt.
Well, Miriam Adelson, for example, Rupert Murdoch, people who were very much vested in using Trump for what we're seeing now.
But within the White House?
I don't know the answer to that. I've never worked there. So if you don't work there, you can say, you can say what you think but it's hard to really know.
This is me looking skeptical.
Yeah, well, no, but it's me being honest. I don't really know. And you read all these things about, Susie.
Yeah, you have to go, this is me being skeptical because your face doesn't move. Because you have put so many chemicals in it, it's not moving. There's not a wrinkle because it won't move. Wow.
Florida, and there's a whole
Florida. Look at that.
Susie, is of course a product of Florida, and there's a whole Florida group and the consultants and Marco and all the rest, and people whisper about that. Is that true? I really don't know. I've never heard her say anything against JD. She seemed to love JD, but who knows, man? Who knows? But I know, I definitely know that outside, it's hard to believe that Mark Levin and Laura Loomer, who are,
Where the hell is the part that we're looking for, man? Hey, man. Here we go.
One more question on this particular issue. It was just published that your son, who worked for the VP, left that job. Did your rift with Trump have anything to do with that and make it hard for him?
Zero. He was not forced out of the role at all. And my understanding of it is, let me just say, in a normal world, in a decent world, my son or my son's job would have no relevance at all to me.
Why did your son leave then? If he wasn't forced out?
I don't know. You can ask him. But he was there over a year. I don't know. White House is an intense place to work. I don't want to talk about my son. He's got nothing to do with this.
No, I mean.
No, but that's kind of the point. we need to defend the core beliefs of our civilization, which, by the way, are attractive to the entire world. People move here not just for our robust economy, but because they want to be judged on the basis of what they did, not on what their parents did. That's the whole point. That's collective punishment. It's blood guilt, and we reject it. I gave this lecture to Nick Fuentes. I gave this lecture to Mike Huckabee. The lecture never changes because the idea is the core idea of our civilization.
Since you mentioned Nick Fuentes, I have one last question. You opened the door.
I don't care about Nick Fuentes.
He is not a J.D. Vance fan. He's called him a race traitor because of his marriage to OSHA.
I don't care.
He's like who is Indian American. Wait, let me finish the question. I mean, given how influential Fuentes is right now.
Is he?
Is he not?
I don't know. Doesn't seem to be. He didn't get us into war with Iran. Like, who cares, actually? That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, all of this is like a sideshow. Americans are being killed in a foreign country at the behest of another foreign country, and it's going to wreck the U.S. dollar and cause hyperinflation in our country. And we're like fretting about what some kid on the internet said. It's like, who cares, actually? But this is a way of taking us away from the core issues, which are economic. They're economic. And that is the one thing that nobody ever wants to talk about. How is the money distributed? Where does the money come from? No one wants to, that's why, like, the only left-wing movement I ever had a lot of sympathy for was the one that arose after the global financial crisis.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, it's like listening to Dave Smith. It's terrible. Anyway. All right, there you have it. God, that was the hardest thing to get through ever. She was so ugly. But anyway, there you can see how he snaked Mr. Fuentes. What I want to say, preface it, because firstly, I want to see Fuentes' clip here in regards to Tucker Carlson's son. Only conservatives have this delusion. And I'm glad that Fuentes said this here. Only someone that is a conservative animal, that is what a conservative is. Where is the clip?
Conservatives are the worst. You cannot work with them. You have to be in opposition to them. You have to oppose them constantly, even when they sound like you, especially when they sound like you. And you need to deplatform conservatives.
Oh, really, Tucker? Your son had no advantage getting a job at the fucking White House with his dad being Tucker Carlson? So, hang on. America is the only country that can do this, where nepotism exists, but if you try to talk about it, it's illegal. You're a bad person, actually, because you're thinking like a European feudal lord. But I can use nepotism. Let us see. I mean, dude, if anything here, listen, obviously, because, as Tucker Carlson knows, right, it's a race society or whatever. Nick Fuentes is Hispanic, so I have to side with my Hispanic brother. Whatever. But I found the whole thing so annoying that I'm glad to see Fuentes take on these sacred cows. Really, Tucker, your son. This is how conservatives, if you ask a conservative, hey man, if there's a guy who's going to be 5'2", can he make it to the NBA? They will go, absolutely he can. As long as he trains at his hardest and does his best, he will play in the NBA. And you go, that is not true. That is statistically impossible. You hate America. That's why you're saying that, because you're not willing to pull yourself up by the jockstrap. No, I'm not. If you're 5'2", brother, you're not playing in the NBA. I'm sorry, you're not. I know there's an exception somewhere you're going to point to. You are not going to be it. And conservatives love to insist. If you tell a conservative, hey, if there is someone who is mentally deficient and they really want to be a millionaire, can they do it? They'll say, absolutely. As long as they work hard. And you go, no, they can't. And they say, yes, they can. It's disgusting. Let's see here the best retort that I've heard in a long time to this conservative fucking virus, the way they think, from Mr. Fuentes himself.
You know what he told me at the dinner? At the dinner, I asked him about that.
You know what he told me? He said, my son can work anywhere he wants. I had nothing to do with that. He said, my son is your age. He's a young man. He wanted to work in politics, so he got that job. I had nothing to do with that. I don't. Really? Really? Anybody? Yeah. Now that's just insulting because here's the difference. You want to talk about the lack of economic opportunity for young people? I know a long line of young white men that are better looking than your son, smarter than your son, more qualified than your son, went to better schools than your son, and they can't get an interview. You want to know why? Because their dad isn't Tucker Carlson. They can't get an interview, let alone they're going to be in Jim Banks' office and every intern is going to be jacking them off because it's Buckley Carlson. And they certainly don't get to work in the vice president's office with J.D. Vance. And then you want to deign to tell us about the revolutionary violence because of how the elites don't understand the economic plight of young men, while you simultaneously tell us immigration's not real, race isn't real, Jews aren't real. No one's talking about Jews. It's about the baby boomers. Really? What about your 2 houses? What about your $10 million real estate portfolio? You in a crap? We can't ask about that either. Is that also blood guilt? Some student asked him at Turning Point USA last year, they said, I read you have a $50 million net worth. Tucker says, fuck you, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Is that blood guilt? We also can't talk about your net worth either? Mr. Populist, we can't talk about your CIA dad's son. We can't talk about we can't talk about your CIA dad. We can't talk about your Nepo baby son. We can't talk about your $50 million net worth. We can't talk about why you never criticized Israel until 2 years ago. What can we talk about, Tucker? What can and should we talk about? Demon attacks, UFOs, astral projection, time travel? For fuck's sake already. Does nobody see through this? Does nobody else see through the ruse? Are you kidding me? That's just insulting. What happened to your son working for the vice president who is caught in the middle between you and Trump in this war that you obviously hate, and Trump is attacking you? How dare you ask me about my son? In a decent world, if we remembered what our civilization was based on, you wouldn't even think to ask me that. Oh, stop. Just stop with that already, with that routine. I'm sick of it. Do the laugh again. Do the laugh again.
I think that this is perfect. I wonder because, look, I don't have any answers tonight. I really don't. But what I hope is that this is something that has an effect on the Tucker thing, man. Because I think Tucker is really one of the more damaging figures. And I know we have some Tucker fans here, and that's fine. But when I watch Tucker talk about gay sex for 2 hours with Milo Yiannopoulos and what exactly it's like, I don't think this person has the best interests of America at heart. When I see Tucker Carlson talk to the guy who is claiming he sucked Obama's cock, where is it?
Gotta have them ribs. And pussy too.
For 90 minutes, I don't think that Tucker Carlson is a discerning individual. This is a problem. And I know some people here are not fans of Nick Fuentes, and, I understand that. But we are getting to levels of delusion with Tucker Carlson that it is evidence now. It is self-evident. Your son, this is truly, when people say we need to end H-1B visas or student visas because that person is taking up a slot that an American could have. What the hell is Buckley Carlson, Tucker Carlson's son, working in the White House? That's the same fucking thing. There used to be a thing called noblesse oblige, where rich people felt a need to elevate the state of the poor. by denying an opportunity to someone who has even less, let's say it's affirmative action, less merit than your son, Tucker Carlson, to work at the White House. I mean, their families are always rising and falling in America. Nowadays, it seems like families are always rising or dying in America, and neither of them alternate. For you to take offense at the fact that your privilege afforded you your son's, why does your son need a government job at the White House? I just need to know why. Why? These, and again, despite everything, Fuentes, when he says, where is the populism? Where is it? I hate populism. Populism is gross. But if it's there, I know Tucker Carlson isn't selling it. Because Tucker Carlson is literally taking a job from you. He is literally taking something from you. And that is something that is impardonable, I think. Really. I really do think it is. So in this fight, I mean, it's entertaining, sure. I think everyone's a little bit tired of the whole thing. I don't think this is worth it. I could get bad for us on there. I think that it is. I think that it is interesting to see this fight, and I hope that this does damage the Tucker Carlson. Who is the audience for Tucker Carlson? That's my main question, is who is the audience still? Because it strikes me as if young people can kind of see through this. You know, I don't know if you're like 17 or 18, because everyone's into politics now. The kids should be out there gooning and having fun, but they're all into politics. Maybe they're Tucker Carlson fans, and maybe like a boomer or something, but he's also said he hates boomers. Who is the Tucker Carlson cohort? Who are the people who watch Tucker Carlson? I don't understand it. And it's about time someone cuts down the tall trees over there. Let's watch this portion here.
And you could tell that Tucker didn't really prepare for the interview because he didn't have a lot of straight answers. Like I said, they asked him, when do you talk to the vice president? I don't know. Why did your son get kicked out of his press office? I don't know. What do you think about... Here was another part which I omitted. Tucker says, well, it's knives out in the White House. Everybody wants J.D. Vance to fail. It's the neocons and the donors. And the interviewer says, really? Who? Who? Like who? Who wants J.D. Vance out of the White House? Tucker says, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I said. I don't know when I talked to him. I don't know who's trying to get him fired. I don't know why my son got kicked out of his office. I don't know if he's politically toxic because of the war. I just don't know. The one thing Tucker knows is that J.D. Vance is a good man who's going to fix all the problems and should be the president. And you could tell that Tucker didn't...
And this is so well spoken, so succinct. I'm very glad to see it. Where I may have my differences with Mr. Fuentes at times, but essentially to call Tucker Carlson slop, which is what Tucker Carlson's channel is at this point. The TCN channel, guess what? It's slop. That's what it is. It's slop. It is slop. I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at the Tucker Carlson channel. Is this one or TCN? No, it's this one here. Perfect. He has a TCN. I mean, how much money is Tucker Carlson making? Let's look at the slop channel. Let's look at it. Let's look at the slop channel. Okay. Does conversion therapy work? Look at that right there. Milo Yiannopoulos, 2.5 hours. John Rich on Diddy, Demons, and the Antichrist. 1.5 hours. How to Win with Gold. 1 hour and 40 minutes of slop. Who is Thomas Crooks? There was no answer in that. It was just more questions. 30 minutes of slop. Chris Williamson, the genius from Big Brother. Guide to Being Happy and Debunking the Feminist Lie. An hour and 50 minutes. Wow, it smells like 2015. Slop. 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 I knew the pandemic was coming. 6 months ago. Reminder, Tucker Carlson guaranteed a lockdown. He told Trump to lock down the country. So, more slop for the pigs. The rise of the genocidal left with Steve Bannon, more slop. Slop for the animals. New underwater UFO sightings and the non-human tech the government is slop. The occult, Kabbalah, the Antichrist's newest manifestation. Slop, slop, slop. Everything you should know about Dan Crenshaw, how he got rich. Slop. This whole YouTube show is slop. Facing demonic forces. Slop. 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 It's slop. It is slop. And it is vampire slop. Candace Owens, Macron, Harvey Weinstein, and White Crisis King. When Candace does it, it's endearing. It's a crazy black detective lady. She's cool. This is a vampire taking slop. Is our farmland safe? Slop. That's enough. That's enough. This is fucking slop. The whole channel is slop. Haunted, no, look at this. Haunted by demons of war. Interviewing Rob O'Neill, who is the fake guy who killed Osama bin Laden. What is it, like the 50th guy to say he is? Slop, man. It's slop. It is slop. Pigs love their slop. I want to steal AA's clip. Where is it? Let me see. This is let me see the where is it? Here we go. AA. Shout out to AA. Where is it? This is the Tucker Carlson viewer. This is what they sound like and they look like. Look at that. That's you watching Tucker Carlson. Yummy slop. I love Tucker Carlson. Yummy. Oh, look. I love Tucker. This is me eating the Milo Yiannopoulos episode. Wow, it's look at you after you ate all of the Milo Yiannopoulos. Fucking animals, dude. Pigs eating slop. Feeding pigs slop. Look at this one here. Feeding the pig slop. Let's listen to these here. This is you watching This is you watching the Tucker Carlson video where he's interviewing the guy who blew Obama. Right here, you and your friends watching. That's you. This is exactly what you look like watching the Tucker Carlson network when he's talking about aliens and demons. Fucking pig. And that's actually how Tucker Carlson sees you. So, I'm glad to see Nick Points is attacking him a little bit. It's a little funny. It's a little funny. All right, everyone. That's the end of the show. This is crazy. Jeremy Boring did a video about Daily Wire layoffs. We're at levels of insanity in this country. All right. I appreciate anyone tuning in. Make sure you join us on Patreon. That's what helps the most. $5 a month. You get the King Leo Movie Club and Modularity Film History. I'm not getting a membership on YouTube. Give a like, give a comment, give a subscribe. That's what helps grow the channel more. To be honest, I don't even care anymore, honestly. I really don't even care about the subs or the Patreon. Because I'm doing this to stay sane. I really don't even care anymore. I mean, it would be nice if you did it. But I'm not going to beg like this pig. If you want, like, comment, subscribe, join the Patreon. It helps keep the show on the road. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow. I got to go to sleep, dude. I didn't get to rest this weekend at all, or yesterday. See you guys tomorrow. We're going to look at Nick Shirley.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. 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 Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.